And someone asked me a question, Dave, end of February. He asked me, why haven't you lost the weight? What's happened? And I didn't tell him. But I'm telling you, Dave, this is the reason why. Because,
Sandra, how did you find carnivore?
oh, Dave, I thought you were going to ask me that question. So I got all my notes ready and I will tell you. I may look down and use my binoculars to read from, because as you know, this eye is the only that I can see out of, and this eye is totally blind. So many years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I felt something was not right in my body, in my groin area. I had a big lump there, and I didn't feel right. I was going to go to a job opposite where I lived, but I couldn't get there. I ended up in accident and emergency. And that same night, I was operated on by a surgeon right there, right now. No, there's no time to come back, kind of thing, and book an appointment. It was serious operation. And the next morning, a diabetic lady, nurse kind of, she wasn't a nurse, but it's one of those kind of practitioner things, said to me, how long have you had diabetes type 2? I said, I don't. Well, she goes, your reading was 15.0 mmol as you times by 18 to get the American figure. And I goes, what does that mean? And goes, you are type 2 diabetic. And then from there, the nurse that came to take out my wounds every day from the surgery was at my home and said to me, you've got to take metformin tablets for the rest of your life. In my mind, I'm a kind of rebellion lady, yeah? I said, you watch me, meaning, no, I'm not. So that was one of the fight of the first of the surgeries because they knew me for not taking my metformin tablets. So, as soon as I got my laptop, I put in the phrase somewhere along the lines of ending diabetes, what is diabetes, how to control diabetes, and things like that. And one of the first doctors to get my attention, get my attention, was the G bombs doctor. Greens, beans, onions, mushroom, berry, really like much, and seeds, no. So, but I still watched him. He's a funny man, and he liked his no potatoes, no rice, no all that, but the greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, which I like. So that was Dr. Joe Furman. But he's a vegan. But I'm not going to be a vegan. I like my chicken too much, like my, chicken wings. You don't take my chicken wings from me. You'll see a different person. You can keep the chicken breast, you can have that, but don't touch my chicken drumsticks. so, so being vegan wasn't for me in them days. But I still watched him. And then I got linked onto Dr. Neil Barnard. I think I got one of his books, not here now, but I threw it away, obviously. And it wasn't for me. He's too strict, And then on the internet, yeah, I was doing all my little researching and all my typing in. And one of the first, the first normal guy, the way with no doctor certificate behind his name, was Mark Sisson. And he had a blog about getting rid of diabetes. I read it about 10 times. And from there, that's how I got into the paleo kind of, videos. Woo! And I got this book, this thick, chunky book called, can you see that? Whole 30?
Oh, yeah.
Whole 30, yeah? Which really was good to take me off the processed and all the junk food and all that. I didn't use it much, being honest, but I just read through it and it stuck with my chicken wings and, my breads, And so, but I still on the computer, and doing all my, shenanigans on there. And then what happened next? Woo! I got really motivated because in that year I had bursitis in my right knee. Yeah, I couldn't move for over 6 weeks. And then something happened on BBC One. Dr. Mosley came up. I think, wow. And I was because at that time, what's his name? That professor at Newcastle University, yeah, got rid of people's diabetes by putting them on a low fat, low calorie diet. So Dr. Mosley said, right, let me do a kind of a keto one. And I got the book, yeah. And this morning on my mobile phone, it says 7 years ago, this is what you got up to. And it was me making a YouTube video about, oh, I'm going to start the blood sugar diet. There's a book, my camera, yeah, the blood sugar diet. And the first recipe I did in there was scrambled eggs, no bread. I used to have a YouTube channel, Dave, called Low Carb Sandra. And people, and there's a lady, yeah, a lot skinnier than I am, yeah, said to me, she got a video about it now, right? She goes, Sandra, if it wasn't for you, I would never lost all my weight. I said, how can I inspire people to lose weight? Look how big I am. But I was watching one of her videos. She goes, she's wearing pink. She goes, there's somebody who I've got to tell you about. She didn't mention my name until the end. Yeah. She said, this person inspired me to lose all my weight doing 1 meal a day. So I've changed my name to Oh Mad Caroline. So I don't think it's going to be somebody else in America, somebody else in Australia or UK. She goes, it's someone called Low Carb Sandra. And I went, how can someone like me inspire a lady to lose weight and become a fitness instructor now? Yeah. And she goes, Sandra, you really inspire me. Yeah. And there's a lady who one of my first subscribers, she was in New Zealand. And me and her kind of became pen pally kind of friend. Not now, but it was back in the day to my old channel. And I go, yeah, you really inspire me to lose weight. And but everyone knew I'm still so fat, So I said, right, okay. And people would say to me, you're a wonderful lady and all this kind of stuff. And they've got many fans. So here's what happened. So moving forward, I did a blood sugar. So that got me more into the blood sugar, lower my blood sugar. And then, well, who came up next?
So, sorry, Sandra, can I just jump in just to ask about a timeline?
Yeah.
So you were in your early 20s when you found out you had type 2 diabetes?
Yes, 1995, that kind of years.
1995, right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so up to about 7 years ago, you were kind of trying low carb and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in 2016, 2016/17, I had bursitis and couldn't move out my flat, or no shared accommodation at that time. Missed the a guy whose landlord loved my character, and I was off work for weeks. I said, right, what can I do? And you won't believe this, Dave. I was so camera shy, you wouldn't believe it. When it comes to no camera, I'm everywhere, but camera, no camera, no. So I was in my living room at the time and said to myself, I'm on my back for 7 hours of the day because I put my right leg above in the air to drain all the stuff out. So what can I do in between? Let me go on Amazon or eBay, I can't remember when it was, and got a tripod for my mobile phone. And then I started Low Carb Sandra, the channel. And in 2020, because I'm a Christian lady, Dave, right? And God talks to me directly. And I came out of surgery in December 2019. And in the day before my birthday, 26th of March, God said to me, what do you want for your birthday? And I told him what I wanted. And God clicked his fingers, because he talks to me, clicked his fingers and took me on a 21-day water fast. It's on my channel right now, what I broke it with, some cucumbers and stuff like that. And I was thinking, fantastic, yeah? And that's when I got more into the keto, but the olive oil, but it made me sick. I said, oh, no, because even in the low-carb Sandra days, I didn't like it at all. Oh, no, it was horrible. It made me sick. I said, what can I do instead? So then that's when all the Doing Rider came up, Dr. Jason Fung came up. So it was bananas, no bananas, bananas, no bananas. And this was in 2016, 17 days. And I love Doing Riders where you eat all these bananas, but still too much bananas for me. So what can I do? Right. Where it's not olive oil, because that made me sick, yeah, but not butter, because that's too saturated fat for your body, you know, that kind of stuff, yeah, and that kind of thing. So who was the next doctor who got me thinking? So it was keto olive oil, you know what I mean? I think, because when I used to do my channel, the Low Carb Sandra, I used to cook a lot on there, and I've got very thumbs up for my recipes, you know, like with bell peppers, olive oil, you know, I had to fry it in coconut oil and things like that. And yes, then what happened, I discovered low carb down under. What's this all about? What? Ketogenic? What does that mean? What? Yeah, you can eat meat and butter and all that kind of stuff. That's when I discovered Dr. Paul Mason, bit too strict for me. So I said, oh no, it's all right. Let me go back a bit. It's a bit too strict, you know. So and I started off that way, and then where I worked, yeah, they all knew me for being kind of trying to lose weight all the time, kind of lady, you know. Never getting there, but trying to get there. So I had a 2 weeks holiday in February 2019, and I was on the YouTube, and I saw a Joe Rogan thumbnail, and I saw a butchy kind of guy on there, and the words carnivore below. What does carnivore mean? And I'm thinking spooky, you know, spooky. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, you know, I stick to me cucumbers and probably that's it. But just meat only and nothing else. I didn't watch it, by the way. I wasn't inspired to watch it neither. Okay, but something was the back of my brain, because at this time I was a junk food addict. Morning, I would get on the cab, say to the cab driver, drive round the drive-through at McDonald's, then drop me to work, because I got leg problems. I got no cartilage in both my knees. I can't walk that far. So when I had to go to work, 99% of the time was cab. Yeah. So when I did a late shift, like finished by 10 o'clock in this call center, I said, cab, drive through KFC, please. You know, and I get a big bucket of, you got to have my chicken wings in there. You know, no breast, please. Just chicken wings, big chicken wings and the little chicken wings. But because sometimes I would have to go back and say, look, there's not chicken wings in my bucket, and they'll fix it. I thought, thank you. And then I'll go home, eat that KFC bucket in ways you would not think. Like, no wonder I put on the weight. And I said, when is it going to stop? When is it going to end? Tomorrow, next month, next week. You know, it's going to stop. You're the next week thing. So that was that. So um, then what happened? The ketogenic craze came through our call center at the time, and the lady I used to know there really slimmed down. Really, I couldn't believe it. This black woman, she wasn't too big, but she was. You can tell she'd been on a keto diet, and she was losing it. I got more into it. I said, so on my holiday for 2 weeks, yeah, I remember my fridge that I had was filled with chicken. It was filled with. I even was going to try a rabbit. Is it called rabbit? Yeah, rabbit. I stewed the rabbit and had it in there. Oh, I didn't touch it again. After stewing it, I said. so, because when I was younger, we used to have bunny rabbits in our back garden. So it wasn't running me too much of that, yeah. And then all the greens, and I was an onion addict. Onion and garlic had to be in my food, no matter what, onions and garlic. And I said to myself, could I give up onions and garlic for 2 weeks? So what I did a shopping of beef, not minced beef. It was normal beef, like the muscle meat beef, fish like brim, yeah, mackerel. I love mackerel. Turkey drumsticks from Asda in our UK. You call it Walmart in USA, and coconut oil and olive oil. And I had no scales in them days. Still don't, but I ate for 2 weeks according to Sean Baker's kind of eating, like no vegetables, no sugars, no breads, no potatoes, and stuck with it for 2 weeks. Yeah. Remember, I said to you, I get cab to work, yeah? This guy could not believe it was me, Dave. He was effing and jeffing. He said, no, it can't be you. You have shrunk in 2 weeks by doing whatever diet you was doing. So I said, really? And he was telling me all how I look differently. Yeah. I went to work and I got a shock of my life. A Slimming World consultant that I knew 2 years before that saw me and he goes, you have shrunk, And I went to my work and then went to the canteen, and an Asian young lady said to me, are you Sandra? I goes, yeah, how you know my name? That guy outside is talking about you, how you shrunk. What you been doing? I've been on a carnivore diet for 2 weeks. What's the carnivore diet? I got into all that. So that was 2 weeks on carnivore, and everybody, even the manager, the top manager lady of my call center, who could stack me in 2 seconds, said, you have shrunk, girl. Her name's Jan, a very nice lady. And but she's a boss. You're the boss that you're the boss that are women, but men. You know what I'm talking about. Although she wore high heels, she's very butch in her attitude and her ways. Yeah, Jan. And she goes, you have shrunk. And everyone was talking about it. Sandra, you really lost. And you look good. You look like a different woman. Yeah. So I got a bit of a tension there, from the opposite as well. So
And sorry, how long ago was this?
This was in 2019. 2019, when I did the February 2019, when I did the 2 weeks carnivore, went back to work. Then I got a surprise many months later. I couldn't see out both my eyes. Yeah. And I came to work and I said, oh no, I can't see again. I can't see. And I was crying my eyes out. And one of the top managers there, called Michael, said, come with me, Sandra, to the canteen. And he goes, can you see my face? I goes, no, I can't see your face. I was really crying. And Jan, the manager, she pulled a few strings for me to get me home and to get me on holiday again. Kind of, Sandra, you've got so many holidays to use by the so and so. You got this and that. Go and take it. So she goes to me, she has her voice, right? Says, you get to the doctors now. I said, yes, Jenny. Yes, Jenny. And I was crying, yes. And it goes, I'm going to arrange for our two managers, take you home right now. And they did. So, and when I got home, I phoned the doctor's surgery negative, and I phoned the opticians. He goes, come tomorrow and see me. So, this was October 2019, and she goes to me when I went there. She said to me, "Take this letter to Manchester Eye Hospital now." And when I got there, all the doctors in the eye surgery department was panicking for me because both my eyes was about to fall out. And when before that I wasn't crying. Like I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be normal. Now when the surgeon who's gonna operate in my eyes came into the room, Dave, you know when you can feel someone's authority. They're not rude to you, but they've got authority. And he looked into my eyes the usual way, and said to me, if I do not operate on your eyes now, you're going to go blind. And the heaviness of what he said just fell on me. And he goes to the nurse, to her, he goes to her, book her an appointment right now, even if it cancels someone else's appointment. And to cut long story short, I ended up having both my eyes operated on there in the 19th of November 2019. So, and it was diabetes type 2 that got me into that position. This eye, they couldn't save. They tried to save it, the retina from it, and they couldn't save it. And this eye, yeah, they just about did. And that's when I said to myself, when is this all going to stop? So when I was in the surgery, having the what do you call it? Having the surgery done to my eyes, they discovered something, Dave. They said to me, Sandra, we have got to put you back on metformin because I don't like it, but we've got to put you back on it to have this operation. I goes, yes, then you call my doctor, surgery, I'll give you the permission to do so. Guess what happened, Dave, 2 weeks later? The GA, the head GA person that knocks you out and puts you in operation, says we can no longer give you metformin. Goes, why? You just forced it down my throat 2 minutes ago. What's happened now? Because your kidneys is mentioning two long names. Said your kidneys can't tolerate it. So if I said to myself, if I didn't have these eye problems and I was taking metformin from day one, I wouldn't have no kidneys now. I'll be on a dialysis machine. I goes, thank God, I rebelled in a good way. And so meeting the doctors there was on a as soon as the surgeon stopped my steroids, yeah, I said, yes, no more bread, no more toast, no more toast for me, no, because every morning it was toast for breakfast and some jam if you wanted to, and then later with some biscuits and all that kind of, while they give you your metformin. I said, no bread. And so me and the nurses was on a kind of let's see if Sandra can stick to her low carb, eating. And yes, one morning it was 4.0. I thought, yes, you knock them out, Sandra. You knock them out. And they all loved my character there. I was one of their favorites because I had my own room in the back of Ward 55 somewhere. And because I'm a Christian lady, I thought no one could hear me singing, but they could. I was singing from morning till night, Wow, everyone loved my singing. You know, especially in Nurse Tina, a Scottish lady. She goes, I could hear you, Sandra, from the corridor singing. We loved your singing. I was thinking, oh gosh. Well, I became a bit famous with my singing because 3 years later, I went back to my second operation to take the oil bubble out of this eye. And guess what happened? As soon as I came off the operating table, the carer says, she can sing. And everyone wanted me to sing again, and I started singing again. But and they said, "Remember you, your character. Remember, we're going to stop talking about you." So I came out of hospital. That was 2022 each days. I said, "Right, Sandra, when is this going to stop?" But I had a big problem, Dave, of takeaways. I would go because of my mobility, I can't go shopping like you can. Yeah, it's in a cab, then pack the cab with my shopping. Then the cab driver normally brings it into my home for me, and it's all too much cab fare. But on here, you got Deliveroo. Press a few buttons, it comes to you already cooked. Yeah, and one of my favourites, Dave, I'll tell you, was the English fried breakfast with 2 toasts. You got to have your toast in there, Sandra, because you didn't know it at the time, but you're toast addict. It will be big breakfast, 3 eggs, 3 fried eggs, 2 slices of bacon, 2 sausages, 2 slices of spam. Yeah, not ham, spam. Extra baked beans. 2 hash browns. Yeah, you know what that is, isn't it? The fried little potato things. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
2 toast on the side. Plus, while that was saying half an hour to go, half an hour to go, you know what I'll do, Dave? Go in the kitchen, yeah, and fry me onions. I got to have me fried onions, yeah. And when that was 2 minutes to go, yes, 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 it's coming. And eat that all day, that one meal for the whole day, and I put on the weight again. I'm thinking, oh, why's that? Because you give me 3 guesses, Sandra. So, so, so August last year, like, I'm a Christian lady, right? As I said, yeah. When you pray to God, there's certain times of the day you pray to God about certain topics. It's a long story, Dave, right? So between 9 p.m. and midnight, that's crazy, but it's true. Yeah. That's when you pray to God about your private life. Give me the secret. Why, oh God, why can't I lose any weight? So between 9 p.m. and midnight, I would say, God, once and for all, tell me how you want me to eat. And God answered my prayers. Because the next day, Dave, guess what I was thinking about? You guess.
Steak.
What? No, eggs. Eggs.
Eggs. Oh,
Eggs, yeah.
okay.
Eggs. I said, God, are you serious? He goes, yes, yes, yes. And I done because on here as well, the Deliveroo, you can do grocery shopping for eggs, milk, cheese, that kind of no takeaway. So I went on to my local grocery and said eggs, 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 and it came and boiled them in a Ninja Foodie, yeah. And I said, God, because at that time, a few years ago, I was listening to Cyrus Kambata a lot of going vegan, yeah. But God said, no, not vegan for you. Yeah. And the next day of this dream thing, yeah, I saw 2 massive beef patties, like in a burger, like massive, yeah. So okay, God, you're telling me to eat ground minced beef and eggs. God said, yes, yes. No bun, just the ground minced beef. I said, okay, God. And that person who was behind the burger, you know what I'm saying, was the white rhino guy, Stan Efferding. You know him? No, no.
No.
Well, he's a very good carnivore, but he's a bodybuilder, very famous bodybuilder. And I listened to him. I'm thinking, yeah, makes sense. But I'm a low carb version of that. So no rice, no potatoes, nothing like that. But it would be the cauliflower with the meat. And the first time I tried ribeye, I bought 2 pieces from Morrison's, ate one, and left one in the freezer for months. I only ate it because I was running out of shopping and couldn't find anything else to eat. I said, "Oh gosh, I don't know that." Then, so ribeye is not for me. So I then remember last year, Dave, you were doing a live show, and I said to you, "Why did I eat pork belly all week?" And my fasting blood sugar 7 days later is still 50 or 13.0. And
that's right.
yeah, I said, right, no more pork bellies for me. I said, okay, God, eggs and ground minced beef. And Dave, when I ate the eggs all week, my blood sugar was 5.0 mmol. Woohoo! yeah. But after listening to some people, I wasn't eating enough protein because I'm 5'1", that's 153 centimeters. And someone recently said, for every centimeter you are, 1 gram of protein. I'm thinking, gosh, so right then, that's when I at the end of February, beginning of March, went serious carnivore. Yeah. So my doctor said, Sandra, we need a urine sample. And I kept forgetting because when they tell me I've already done one in my own home. But this day I said, right, the 10th of March, I'm going to go there at 8 a.m. Do no wee wee here, but do it there. And I did. And they caught the bucket thing, and said, right, let me weigh myself. So the lady, the reception, said, I've got eye problems, I've got wobbly problems, help me get weighed. And she helped me get weighed, and the ticket says 104 kilogram. Because what does that mean, Tracy? Because you weighed on the 5th of January 111. You've lost 7 kilograms. How can eating all that chicken drumsticks, eating all that pork sausages, because when I went carnivore, I would eat 6 hex sausages in one sitting with 6 boiled eggs in the same bowl, yeah, plus 1 tin of baked beans, yeah, and yeah, that was it for 1 meal because I was like an OMAD eating. And how can I lose all that weight if I eat all that meat? Yeah, I did. And then I said, right, next game up, ground minced beef. Yeah. So, so I said, right, let me increase, because remember, a guest of yours says he can always tell when someone has got cortisol dysregulation. They got toothpick arms, yeah, toothpick legs, and a big potato-shaped belly. And I goes, that's me. So I said, right, how can I get rid of that? So I went online, watched a couple of videos, and the steak and butter gal, her guest, called Dr. Elizabeth Bright, says for every pound of minced beef, you eat 1 stick of butter. That means 111 grams of butter. So our packs of butter is 2 sticks if you add them together, if you understand. So I said, right, so let me increase my protein to 200 grams a day. So that means I'm having 1 stick of butter a day. So I worked out, Dave, I was eating around beginning of April, around 4,000-ish minimum calories a day. So on the 10th of April, where I put on 3 kilograms, because I'm very sedentary because I don't work Obviously, I don't walk and I don't work. So I'm eating all this butter and ground minced beef, and my body's going like that. I'm thinking, but someone said, Sandra, it could be water retention. It could be this. It could be that. It could be this. Keep on going. Don't stop. And I said, all right then. So that was the 10th of April. So on the 19th of April, went back, and the ticket says 110. So my 11 kilogram, no, my 7 kilogram weight loss, the six of it came back on again, and I was very frustrated. I've got to start over again. So is it Dr. Ted Naiman's way of doing things, where you have lean, protein, and add the oil as you do it? Or is it like the Dr. Ken Berry's way, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and all that kind of stuff? I said, no, let me calm down, Sandra. Sandra, what was you eating before you added the butter? I was eating 30 grams of butter a day, maximum, depending on what I ate that day. I still lost. So I've never stuck to the carnivore way of eating long term. Always 1 week here, 1 day there, while having the vegetables in between. When I got rid of the vegetables, I said, right, it's the chicken drumsticks, chicken thighs, eggs, boiled or fried or scrambled, the sausages, what else? The baked beans occasionally, but regular, but occasionally, and there. So I was doing so well. People were saying to me on the street, my neighbours, Sandra, you're looking good. You're shrinking. You're looking better in the face and all that kind of stuff. I can, you're right. Okay, let me stick to it, because one of your guests said he can always tell when someone is not eating enough of their protein. Their face upwards, like from here upwards, don't look all that. I'm thinking, so when I started to increase my protein, people said to me, Sandra, you do looking good. I was looking at really, I thought, wow, I must do. Because I never knew this, Dave, right? Because when I say hello, guys, to my viewers, I'm thinking they're all female because I'm a lady. But when I got my statistics the other day, YouTube said to me, your viewers are 60% men. And I was thinking, really? I sing gospel songs, I cook my mama meals on there, and I talk about nothing. How can the men, I think, okay. They like my persona, must be, yeah? So, I said, right. So on the first, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, so between the 19th of April, I mean, that's been nearly a month now. So
Yeah.
what's happened in that month?
Yeah, I went on a baked beans week binge because I'm a person in the past, if I was trying something and it didn't work out and it didn't come to best, I'll be on here, yeah, Deliveroo, special fried rice, spare ribs, curry sauce. That's all I have in the Chinese department. It will be KFC mega bucket for one with extra hot wings, etc. Or it will be, if it's a Friday night, fish and chips, my local fish and chip shop. Now it's very good when I was having it. I said, no, Sandra, no. Jump over this hurdle. Just have some baked beans. And I did. Because baked beans don't raise my blood sugar too high and it doesn't trigger anything major. And I got some vegetables from like mixed vegetables, and I had some of that. And I weaned off it because what I found since having it, my fingers will be all painful again the arthritis will trigger. Said, right, no more of that. And so I made up a poem on my channel called Sticks of Butter, which says um, um, about how I tried it, it didn't work. And if anyone says to me again to try the sticks of butter, I will tell them to stick their butter somewhere else. And I didn't say the rude word, but they got the message. And one of my viewers in South Africa, this young guy, he said, "I love that poem. Oh, it made him laugh, like And so I chilled out with that. And also, I discovered the Keto 2.0 diet. Have you heard of that one? It's where you have up to 100 grams of carbohydrates a day, but you lessen your fat. You have a lower fat version. And and I did that the other day. I made a couple of I made a keto 0.20 breakfast, which had 6 sausages, which was carnivore. Yeah. No, 6 boiled eggs done in a Ninja Foodie, 3 sausages, and 1 tin of baked beans, which was about 55 grams of carbs. That makes it the keto 2.0. And I had that for most of last week, but not all of last week, but a good amount of days to get me out of that frustration. no bread, it was all right. And yesterday I had a strict carnivore yesterday. I had ground minced beef, 25%, and 3 to 5 chicken drumsticks cooked with it. It was lovely. No butter added because the butter, the percentage of fat in the ground minced beef was enough. So I said, moving forward, I might do like a high day, low day, like a high fat day, like a low fat day. So where I'll be eating, like for example, the 7 days of the week, 5 days will be low fat chicken drumstick because with the skin on, for every 100 grams is 4.7 grams of fat, which is low fat. The ground minced beef I was eating yesterday, for every 100 grams is 24 grams of fat. See the difference? One's high and one's low. So I could do high days of chicken of the ground minced beef, followed by low days of the chicken drumsticks, and rotate them every so often to give rather than being high all week, mix it up a bit, like rotate it. So it's not all low all week and it's not all high all week. It's 5 and 2, 3 and 4, that kind of stuff. And that's what I'm on now. And last night, I had twice yesterday. I did kind of a prime day. I had a prime day yesterday. I had 1 kilogram throughout the day of ground minced beef and up to 1 kilogram of chicken drumsticks split, and it was cooked in a Ninja Foodie, no butter added. So I didn't add no butter added yesterday, but it was delicious. But I did have hot pepper sauce, Frank's hot pepper sauce to give it a bit of spice. That was about it. And also, I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not a coffee drinker, so it was lemon and ginger herbal tea for me. That's what I like. Or peppermint. Yeah, that's where I am now. So this is to say, also, the cortisol, level in my body has to be controlled because I wasn't sleeping at nighttime. I didn't know why, but something I was I got cortisol on the YouTube, and you might have heard of him, Clint Ober, Ober. No,
I've heard the name, but
he's the guy that made it clear that before 60s everyone wore bare feet, yeah, or leather shoes. So when you had a guest on the other day and you said that you went to the supermarket in UK with no shoes on, it triggered something in me because when I was a young girl, I would be bare feet in my back garden playing and all that kind of stuff. Um, so I googled his name or whatever, and I watched his story of how he became a grounding person. And just go and try it, and I did straight away. I took my shoes and socks off and went in the back garden, and I can't believe it. The energy that Doctor, what's his name, Jack Cruz was talking about, I felt it up coming up my legs to my knees. It really was different. And my neighbours thought I want to be cuckoo because I got no shoes on, and it wasn't really summer yet. It's like a month ago, and but I did it. And that night, I slept like a baby because before you might have heard of Andrew Huberman. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's got a video called Fasting, 2.5 hours. And I will put that on every single night to try and fall asleep because his voice somehow gets me going to fall asleep. Yeah. You start by saying, "Oh, this is the Lieberman broadcast, and we're sponsored by Helix Sleep. Get your mattress." He's got a dust mat. He's got a dust mattress, by the way. That's what he's got. I know it so many times. And Paddy Lagaroo, he spelled that Paddy Lagaroo name, all that. And then before I know it, before the tape ends, the video ends, I'm off. Yeah. So every night was Andrew Huberman's fasting. I'm off, yeah. But when I started the grounding, I did something. Andrew, you're banned tonight. He was off, yeah, and I fell asleep. I didn't know when, and that's never happened in the years.
So what you're saying is you've got more of a crush on the grass than Huberman.
Yeah. So when I did the grounding outside, I would do it for hours. And one morning, I was out there from about 4:30 a.m. And I thought my neighbours couldn't hear me, but they could. I thought, you made too much noise this morning. So I did right. So I got me earplug things, yeah, and put them in. I thought, thank God for that. So I was out there for hours at a time. 4 hours. I was trying for about 4 hours, 3 hours at a time. So from 6 till 9 a.m. and seeing the birds, seeing the squirrel, because I live behind the park. And he was saying, this is what he does for you, the grounding, Clint Ober. I watched the videos, all the videos I watched them, and he's a great guy. I'm thinking, yes, I'm going to get grounded. And since that time, my sleeping, no Andrew Huberman needed anymore with Matthew Walker. You know, even them two.
The views have dropped. The views have dropped on his channel by 50% since then.
Oh, I don't know. I tell you, just this Andrew Huberman fasting, because you get to a place where we'll tell you the solutions, but I'll be and also as well, my urination at night has dramatically improved, but since having the vegetables back, increased. So I think for me, and yeah, when I went to sleep, when I go to sleep now, I don't know when I've gone off. But before, the cortisol was being raised at night because I was thinking. Like, for example, it was 9 a.m. in the morning, I make a phone call, and the phone call didn't go too right. Midnight, I'll be playing it again in my head. Go to sleep, Sandra. You can't do nothing about it. But still be like a rabbit or like a hamster on a wheel. And that was raising my cortisol, which was making me bigger fat belly, skinnier arms, skinnier legs, all that syndrome. And so my way going forward now is to stick with the grounding. Yeah. Even because I've got a little table outside, and I can put a brolly up, like a garden brolly, and sit on the concrete bit, because Clint Ober said if you got concrete on your patio that's not covered with any tarmac or asphalt, you can do it still because it's still connected to the ground. So I've been doing that on rainy days, and it's been lovely. Not thunder and lightning days, just rain, just normal rain. Yeah. When it's thunder and lightning, I'm indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I ask a couple of questions? So,
Mhm.
since the 19th of April, have you checked your weight again since this new
No,
way of eating, or
no.
okay?
Because what it is when when I was eating it that way in January and February and beginning of March, yeah, all I was having was the baked beans. That was not non-carnivore, yeah. So and I lost the weight. So the beans is not the issue. So what I'm doing now is relaxing, because I wasn't really saying, because I said to the oh yes, as well, Dave, my HbA1c has gone down. Yeah, it was 64 back in um beginning of the year, and that's I think about 8 in the American figure. Yeah, and now it is 53. So someone said to me, let's get that down to 5.1 to 4.8. That's the American figures, yeah. So that's about for me, the UK figure, it's about 30. So it's 53 now. So my next aim is to get the HbA1c in end of July time to 30 as a good round figure for me. And I'm going to do that by eating zero carb. So yesterday's meal, so it'll be eggs, ground minced beef, chicken drumsticks, venison burgers when I can get them, because for every venison burger, for every pack, that's about 60 odd in grams of protein. So I need 120 minimum, bare minimum per day. That's £6 a day in money, which I don't have that right now to spend, but I can get there. So I want to chill out a bit, yeah, relax, and when I see the doctor the 4th of June, I'll weigh myself at the surgery. I'm going to the eye hospital one where you can stand on the scale, you can physically stand on it, and hold it, kind of thing. It makes all your weight professionally. And if I've stayed the same or put on, which I don't think I'll put on, I'll have to readjust the minced beef to a low percentage fat. It won't be the chicken drumstick because that's got 4 or 5%. That got 5% per 100 grams of fat, so that won't be it. Or it will be lower the minced beef to a 10% one to reach my 150 maximum to 100 minimum of animal protein per day, which I'm
Mm.
quite doing.
So one of the things that I have focused on, and I know a lot of people on carnivore focus on, is kind of not worrying so much about the macros
Okay.
and just eating to kind of satiation, because and a lot of the time the reason carnivore becomes more popular for people that have been on keto is because they don't have to think about the numbers,
Mm.
like they don't have to think about the macros. So I wonder, I just wonder, I know everyone's different, but I just
Mm.
wonder, are you maybe overthinking the macros a little bit, and just should you maybe just worry about just getting to satiety at every time you eat, or?
Um, what can I say that? When I was eating the minced beef before adding any extra, I was doing fine. You know, that's why I said to myself, Sandra, you're overdoing things, because I was planning to go vegan for 1 month to get back the weight off again, things like that. But on Saturday, something came to my spirit, to say, right, Sandra, get some chicken drumsticks and mix and match the two. So, so when I have the ground minced beef now, I don't add any extra sticks of butter at all. If I have eggs, I either have the eggs boiled or I have the eggs fried in a 30 grams of butter just to, fry it. But I don't add any extra sticks of butter anymore. So, yesterday's meal that I had was very satiating, by the way. I didn't add any extra butter at all.
So I mean, I
Mm,
think that's and that's the way I would be eating as well.
mm,
Just cooking up what I want and eating it, and yeah, not. And of course, I don't. The butter doesn't really agree with me either, so I wouldn't be adding extra butter into it either. But
yeah.
yeah, I guess I wouldn't be worrying so much about protein and fat and whether I need to change those things. I'd just be going, well, the
Mm,
protein and fat kind of come together with the meat, or the
yeah.
protein and fat kind of come together with the eggs. So I'll just eat it as it is.
Because when I said to myself, when I was getting some chicken thighs, I lost the weight, and that had the skin on it. I didn't take off the skin. I wasn't doing Slimming World, because I've been Slimming World many times over the years, and it's removed the skin of this, removed the skin of that. But I said no, let me keep the skin on, and I still lost the weight. And so it's really to find the fat ratio that suits me, not to go by anyone else's regime, you know. And what it is as well, from January, um, I really, am pleased with what's happened in my life of the answers I've got from God, yeah, to give me the way to move forward now. I'm really pleased with that. So I know what to do. And I was getting there because Dave, maybe because I'm a Christian lady, yeah. God tells things to people way in advance, yeah. And my mum, she went to Jamaica when she retired because all in our culture in Jamaica, yeah, when you reach 60, which she did many years ago, 30 years ago, she went back to Jamaica, yeah. And um, when she did, God sent a man of God because we call them seers. They see things in the future. And he's never met me or seen me, but he said to her, my mum, your daughter, meaning me, my mum didn't have to ask which one, goes, your daughter is going to be slim. And the slimness, he said, I heard about it and I drew it. I'm not an artist. Are you an artist, Dave? Can you draw?
No, I can't. Stick
Yeah,
figures
okay.
I can draw.
Yeah. So one night, I got a bit of paper and drew my slim face of how I'm going to be. Yeah. This was about 30 years ago. And I went and I put it on the wall. And when I went to the bathroom and came back, I thought, who was that? It's like my double. And so God has always told me for the past 30 years that He wants me to be slim one day, And He knows because I was a person, Dave, that used to talk down about myself. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. I'm no good. I'm this, I'm that, and the other. And at school, there was a teacher called Mr. Sweeting, yeah? And he knew that what I was going through, always being picked on. I was about 12 years of age at that time. And what he used to do is go, Sandra, you stay in here. You hide in that corner over there. Yeah, until playtime is ended. Yeah, he used to kind of be my grandfather kind of figure, And I used to hide from the other kids. But one day it was physics lesson day, and Mr. Toby said, I want someone to volunteer to lift up this 100 Newton weight. Yeah, I didn't put my hand up. Then one day, like one time, someone said, "Go on, Sandra, you have a go. You have a go. You beat the highest number." Because now I did, and I lifted it up 19 times. Mr. Toby said, I can't believe this. And he tried to beat me. He couldn't. As a physical 6 foot man, he couldn't beat me. And from that day, no one picked on me again. That solved it. I became a tomboy and the boy's best friend. There's a guy called Gary Delaney at the time. Me and him used to have arm wrestles, the arm wrestles? Yeah. And sometimes he'll win, sometimes I win. So I think the last time I heard from him, he was doing professional boxing of some kind. Yeah, 6 foot, butchy. Yeah, but me and him used to have arm wrestles, and then I became everyone's best friend, Dave. No one picked on me. No one called me Big Mac again because my surname is McDonald. So I'll get called Big Mac at school. But yeah, but fair enough, Dave. I was very active at school. I was good at badminton. No one could beat me at badminton. I was good at javelin. When it came to rounders, they'd go 100 yards back when it came to my turn. Sandra's coming, move back. Yeah.
Nice.
I was good at hockey, but over the years, when I left school, I didn't do that. I became a junk food addict. And someone asked me a question, Dave, end of February. He asked me, why haven't you lost the weight? What's happened? And I didn't tell him. But I'm telling you, Dave, this is the reason why. Because I never knew that my persona and beauty would be so beautiful to people to look at, especially the male figure. And Dave, when I left home at 19, I had problems going home because sometimes men would follow me home. And I'll be at work and men would make sure their lips met mine in a forceful way. And I said, look, I've had enough of this. So what happened, Dave? I hid behind food and my complexion became very dark and ugly. And that stopped men at work or on the buses following me or touching me and things like that. And it worked. So God, God been telling me, stop hiding my beauty, stop hiding it. Really? I said, okay, God. I said, God, please, you know what I've been through when I was younger. I don't want to go through that again. And one day, a friend of mine went to Selfridges in London, and they put me in makeup. And before I went there, no guy looked at me. But when I came out, every guy's eyes was glued to me, even on the train, And I was coming up where I lived at the time, up the station, going home, and a tall black man said, "Give me your number." I'm thinking, no, I'm gonna hide my beauty. I'm gonna hide my beauty. And so it's not because I don't want to eat good food. Yeah. And I used to live in London, and when I came to Manchester, when God told me to do so, automatically I did, like a one-way ticket. I ended up getting a job somewhere, and it started all over again, Dave. Yeah. And this guy made sure his lips met mine. Yeah. And I said, not again. And even in the call centre that I worked at, there was a guy there called Darren who had a crush on me. And one day, Dave, I got called into the office, Jan's office kind of thing. And she said, not Jan, somebody else below her said, "What's going on between you and Darren? Keep it at home." Because what do you mean? There's nothing going on between me and him. But everyone thought me and him had something going on, but it wasn't. So I said, right. And so I said, right, I'm going to stay fat, hide from the guys, and go from there. But God said to me, no, no. He wants me to shine. I've never been slim, Dave, as an adult, never been slim, but I can see it in my mind. God has shown me many times how slim He wants me to be. Yeah. And I've cried to God over the years to say, God, the frustration that I've been going through, you know. So really, it is a very private reason why I'm hidden behind food. And it's now time for me to let go of that reason. Because how, with God, He tells me to do things. Because one day I was working at Holborn in London, Dave, yeah? And God said to me, in your lunchtime, go to Oxford Circus and get a red outfit. I said, yes, Lord. And then He then said to me, put on these high heels. Yes. Then He said, get your hair done in this style. Yes. That Sunday I went to church, Dave. Every man's highs popped out their head. There's one guy called Marlo, Dave, right? He said to me, shouted it out. This guy's not shy. He shouted it out when I was walking down the aisle somewhere to do something in the church. He goes, Sandra, you look $1 million. Trust him. I'm thinking, wow, Marla said that to me. Oh, whoa, you know, and because it's like, yeah, and because my belly has always been big, and Nicholas broke the ice, Dave. This Nicholas is 6'3" tall, very slim. You know, like Tiger Woods kind of looks. You know, Tiger Woods, the golfer. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
And one day I was at church, and his sheep jacket was next to mine. I'm thinking, what is his jacket doing next to mine? And he made it clear that he liked me, and we became friends. And when he went to the head guy of the church saying, I want to marry Sandra, the head guy said, Sandra is not for you. And I was heartbroken, Dave. I was heartbroken. I didn't go to his wedding. He invited me, but I didn't go. And I cried for days about this situation. And I said to myself, I'm not going to see him again. And I didn't. But in 2011, small world, Dave, I saw him again, and he greeted me and said, goodbye, Sandra, in the way of what we had before, you know. And I said to him, am I too fat for you? And he said to me, don't you ever say that to me again, because I like you the way you are. I was massive. I was about 7 stones heavier than I am now. So it wasn't like kind of, I was heavier. I was about 23 stones at that time. And he said to me, I like you the way you are because you are a beautiful person. And but God told my mum 30 years ago, I'm going to be slim. I didn't ask it to happen, but God just said it's going to happen. And so when I said to God on the first of January, I'm tired now. I want to be slim now. Give me the solution. That's when I looked at your channel on the 7th of February, and you had a guest on there. And that guest spoke to my heart, spoke to my life. And it's time for me to let go now and be the Sandra that he wants me to be. He wants me to be this Sandra. It's like, yeah, he wants, because I can see it, yeah, but I've never touched it, tangible touched it. And that's where I am. So I've got to let go of the bad food, hiding behind the bad food to hide from guys. And because one night I was at my wedding before, over 30 years ago, and I was going somewhere at night. And I noticed a guy behind me kind of followed me, yeah? So I diverted and went to another block of houses kind of thing. I said to this Asian guy, he's following me, he's following me. The guy, very slim Asian guy, jumped out the window, the ground floor obviously, yeah, and ran after that guy. I'm thinking, you know, um, so I've from that time hidden behind food to protect my beauty and to not shine my beauty anymore. Yeah, that's the real reason why I've not let go totally of food, bad food.
Yeah.
Very, very. I gotta just let it go, Dave.
Yeah.
Really.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that. Um, yeah, it's it's hard. Those kind of things that just becomes so much part of your life, right? It's
Mm,
yeah, but yeah, for your health's sake, you really, yeah,
yeah, and
mm,
like I I said to myself sometimes, why do I eat junk food when I used to eat junk food? It wasn't really for. It was just bad habit, laziness. I like the taste, and it was. So when that person asked me at the end of February why haven't I lost weight yet and all that kind of stuff, the subconscious backbone reason is because I don't want the attention I used to have when I was younger to come back in a negative way. And I've just got to accept the way God created me is the way God created me. And He wants me to, because God has shown me many things of how He wants me to dress very elegantly, very beautifully. Yeah. And I said, God, you know, I know you've been telling me this for years now. And it's time for me to walk in that way. Because I believe in dreams, Dave. Yeah. And God, well, the Bible scholars would know this. In Job 33, talks through dreams. That's how he talks to us human beings the majority of the time. And since January, I've had dreams about going to elegant clothes shops and buying elegant, really nice clothes, a lot smaller than I'm doing now. And it's like, wow, clear, classic dreams about elegant, beautiful clothes. He does. God loves you. You know when a peacock stretched out all its feathers and it's beautiful. Well,
yeah,
God wants me to array clothes in a beautiful way. He nods his head when he does that. That's why he said to me, "Go and buy that red outfit." And every man in that church that day, Dave, said to me, "I look good." Like even the married ones. For God no, because um, it's like I never knew. I don't know when guys like me because when I was working at a factory in 2011, an engineer from Southampton came to do his job in the engineering side, yeah. And then at the last week, he said I was by myself in the factory, and he came up to me and said, "Sandra, we are leaving on Friday, and we are inviting certain people to our dinner." Because I can't make it. I can't make it. I'm working in my second job, and now I can't make it. He came to me and said, "Sandra, we are leaving on Friday, and I'd like you to be there." I was okay. I'll come. And with me, I dress differently when I go out to places, elegantly. To cut long story short, Dave, when I stepped into that restaurant, his eyes couldn't believe who he was seeing. Wow, wow. And I never knew that he liked me because one guy there was drunk and he goes, when I was leaving, he goes, Sandra, he likes you. Wow. And this guy was slim, 6'2" ish, the usual. Um, and but we didn't stay in contact, for obvious reasons, because he had his girlfriend in Southampton. Um, and but through that night, we was close in the way of, I'm looking, am I too fat for him? Can you see what I'm saying, Dave? Like, my weight has blocked me from seeing the other half in the way they see me. And the guy who liked me when I was 9 years ago, when I came to Manchester, was a 6 foot, two, gym going, very hunky looking guy. I'm thinking, boy, what's happening here? But me losing the weight will get more attention, I'm saying to myself. So I said, no, I'm going to hide behind food. I'm going to hide behind food. And that's the real knuckle of things, Dave. I can see myself, what size I'm going to be, what kind of high heels I'm going to be. I'm gonna wear. Yeah, very elegant lady, and that's where
Yeah.
I'm now.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, uh, I totally understand where you're coming from, but at the end of the day,
Hmm.
you just need to do it for yourself now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's just for you, right?
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So, Sandra, how can we find you on YouTube, and what can we expect when we get there? Lots of singing and dancing?
Well, that's my channel. Is it, if I'm pointing the right finger? Sandra channel. It's a Christian-based channel where I cook, sing my own songs. I sometimes create my own lyrics as well. I cook, my keto 2.0 to carnivore meals, um, and have a good laugh, have a good sing song, and a good chit chat. Yeah. So it's Christian based. So God is always praised there.
Nice. Well, I'll link to it below, and I hope your next appointment's June 4th, so I hope you'll come back after that appointment and let
Yeah.
us know how things are going.
Yes, I sure will, Dave. And thank you for inviting me on your show.